Hey guys, how's it going? I am the ConflictNerd, hello and welcome to Space Engineers. This is a spaceship building and space exploration game. It's currently on Steam. This is an alpha build, this is on early access, this is not a finished game. But I want to show you it. I've been having a lot of fun with this. I've put a lot of hours into it, I've built myself a couple of spaceships and I've dabbled about in building things and it's a lot of fun. But first things first, let's just have a look at the options to show you what's in here. So, game options, you've got language and control hints, which I recommend turning off because they're annoying as hell. Video options, not too bad. You've got options for your display. I've currently got this up on my second screen, apparently, which is not entirely correct, but whatever. Resolution, plenty of them for all of the people that need various resolutions. Full screen, vertical sync, hardware cursor, render quality, extreme. I wouldn't recommend anything else. Field of view goes up to 90 and down to 40. Why on earth you would want a field of view of 40? I don't know. But yes, we will keep those settings. Audio is fine. Controls, for whatever reason. There we go. You can rebind them. All of them you can rebind. You've also got, you can actually put all of these onto your mouse as well, which is interesting. Okay, fair play to that. I did not know that. Let's load up a world. I've got one here called the Pillar of Autumn. You will see why in a moment. And here we are. We're actually in the game. Now, as I said, this is an alpha product. It's not exactly finished, and it's not representative of the final game. So it is a little bit derpy looking, but alas, this is Space Engineers. You actually start down there. There's kind of less wreckage and carnage going on when you begin. But first thing I want to show you is this little ship here. This is one of the ones that actually is in the world when you... Well, in the world might be the wrong term, but this is one of the pre-built ones that you can actually get. If you press V, yes, you can go in first person, which is quite cool. I really enjoy first person in these smaller ships because it just gives you the impression that you're in a fighter or something like that. That was one of the larger ships that you can get in the game. And I say was because you might notice it's sort of missing a lot of the front. That blue thing you can see there was also the front of a ship. A different ship, but a ship nonetheless. It's also sort of wrecked. I may have split that ship in two. This little box is actually a space station that I built. Yes. It's a space station. Do not judge my creativeness. But I think the first thing I want to show you is the thing I am currently most proud of. Ignore the giant triangle. Eventually that's going to be a Star Destroyer. It's this. This is not exactly a replica. It's not one-to-one scale. It's not really accurate. But this is my Pillar of Autumn from Halo 1 and I guess Reach as well. But yeah, this is sort of inspired by the Pillar of Autumn. Let's go back into third person. And I just think it looks really cool. And I think one of the reasons I really love this is because I built this bit by bit. Now, this isn't something, it's not like, okay, you create the shape and you kind of mold it a bit. No, this is block by block, engine by engine. You know, I put the reactors in here. I put the gravity generator in here. I put all of that shit in this ship. So, you know, I built all of this. It's not done, obviously, you know, much like the game. This isn't representative of the final product, but this is possibly the coolest kind of spaceship building game I have ever played. And I've played quite a few of them because I love creative games, especially if that kind of creative aspect is building a vehicle of sorts. Now, this is a bit weird. The camera goes a bit dodgy because the ship is so bloody big. But it does move, and it's kind of impressively fast. You know, it's kind of quick. And I'm happy that it's kind of quick, because it means that I'm not trawling along at fuck all speed for 20 minutes trying to build up speed. It doesn't slow down great. It's not very good at that. It takes a bit of time. But it's fun. You know, it's one of those games that you can sink a couple of hours into and build something that you'll probably never really do anything with. I mean, a lot of the fun of this is actually crashing your ship, and I will get to that. But a lot of the fun is crashing your ship into another ship or that space station over there and kind of going nuts that way, and it's really good crashing as well. You know, you could see the destruction on that red ship. It doesn't just launch a block off into space. The blocks actually break and bend and warp and shatter, and it's so enjoyable. Now let's take ourselves back this way a little bit. I want to actually show you some of the construction aspects, because it's pretty good. It's probably most comparable to, and most people will compare it to, Minecraft. And in a sense, I can see why you would do that, but in another, not so much. Anyway, let's make our way up to the doors again and have a look at... what side am I on? What the hell is my Star Destroyer? Or what's gonna be a Star Destroyer. Don't judge it. It looks like crap at the minute. And it probably will do when it's finished, to be honest, because there's not a lot of detail you can put onto a Star Destroyer. But it is fun, you know. It's something fun to do. And it's the only game I've really come across that gives you this kind of creative freedom with a vehicle. I mean, when I say that I enjoy games that give you this creative freedom, I enjoyed Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I actually liked that game because it gave you that creative aspect to make a bloody vehicle in any shape, well, nearly any shape you can imagine. And I really like that. That's why I like Forge and Halo 3 and Reach, and not so much in 4 because it sucks, but I like games that give me the ability to put my own twist on things, you know, kind of make things my way and experience the world or the mechanics or the game in my way, even if it is something as basic as the Forge in Halo. You know, the Forge in Halo isn't all that complicated, but it's still something nice to do. You know, it's fun. For example, if the animations were beefed up a little bit in this game, I could see some really good machinima content coming out of this. I mean, imagine that. You could create some kind of... you could easily create ships from Star Wars, ships from Halo, as you can see there. You could create ships from Star Trek, and if the animations were just a little bit better and not quite as derpy, you could have a really good machinima, and it will look the part because you have all of these things. But that aside, you know, you saw there an example of the way the building works. You get these blocks, and you rotate them, weirdly enough, with the insert, delete, home, end, page up, and page down buttons. And they're weird buttons to do it with, but I guess they sort of work. You know, you rotate them on the x-axis, the y-axis, and I guess the z-axis. Actually, I think that's just left and right. No, it's weird rotation, but you've got 3 axes to rotate your blocks on, and that's kind of how this took shape. And you know, this is a big build. You know, this is gonna take a while. This is a couple of hours of building here alone, and it's just the basic bloody shape, and it's a fucking nightmare, but it's fun. And I can't stress that enough. You know, so many people say, oh, well, it's not really all that much fun, is it? You know, are you really having a good time while you're playing that? And yeah, maybe I'm just weird. You know, maybe that's what's going on. But I really like games like this. I love having that creative freedom, and this game just caters to that so damn well, so impressively well. I love, especially, that the blocks actually merge together so they don't look like blocks. Well, they do, you know. It's obvious that this is a lot of blocks with triangles and various other shapes on it to make it look a bit more curved, but this top surface just looks like a flat surface, and I adore that. I really do. Now, you saw me there putting some engines onto this. I'm actually going to show you why in a second. It's basically, my plan here is just to show you that anything can be a ship. You don't need to have this kind of giant thing going on. You don't need something that looks complicated at all. You can just... you know what? To hell with it. I'm not even going to bother slapping engines onto this. Let me give you a better example. If I press G, I can create a new small ship. I'll start with the small one because it's just easier to manage. Bugger. It's drifting in space. Alright, new small ship. Alright. First things first, we want a small thruster. Or can we get a large thruster, perhaps? Let's get a large thruster and slap it onto there. So there we go. Large thruster. We'll get a couple of blocks like this. Okay. And I want to make a little platform at the front here, just to put the cockpit on, which is going to be this. Okay. 7. How big is that? It's 3 wide, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so we flip that around like so. Okay. We'll get some more blocks. What color will we go for? Let's go for that yellow color. Alright. Slap them all along the side. So a hell of a lot of work later, and we have this. Alright, so a lot of blocks have been used to shape this little bastard. We've got a lot of engines on it. We've got our main engine in the back. We've got our engines on the side for going left and right. We've got up and down, and we have these ones which will stop us and allow us to go backwards. We also have a light on the front there in the middle, and 2 reactors powering the whole thing. Press T on this. Zoom out a little, and it flies. It won't actually turn, unfortunately. However, that can be fixed. If I just pop out for a second, press G, get ourselves a gyroscope. We want to slap that right about there, and that will allow us to turn quite easily, because it's right in the middle and it's a tiny ship. So there we go. We've got ourselves a little, what we call it, a little space tug or something like that. But it's just a little tiny ship. Oh, auto-saving again. But stuff like this can be created in, let's say about 10 minutes. You know, if you put proper effort into it, you can create something like this in no time. But you can create something like this in about 10 minutes. That Pillar of Autumn took me 3 or 4 hours, but that's because I kept making mistakes. And, you know, spend just a day playing this game and you will master it. Oh shit, I'm going to crash if I'm not careful. There we go. Yeah, spend a day playing the game. You will master it. You will figure out how everything works. And you will just have a hell of a lot of fun with it. You know, that's the gist of it. You will have a lot of fun playing this game. Because it is a lot of fun to play. Now let's try landing here. I don't actually have any landing gear, so I should probably pop out and just sort that. I want to slap some landing gear onto the underside of this, so we can actually have a go at properly landing. Let's rotate this and put it there. And not there. Oop. Okay. So there and there. And then same at the back? Yeah, why not? We'll give that a shot. Looks a bit ridiculous. It has feet now. But it's kind of adorable. It looks like a walker more than anything. It looks like it kind of it'd be seen in Star Wars or something like that. I don't know. Maybe someday. J.J. Abrams, if you're out there, you know, I'm looking at a job. I'd take a job designing shit in Star Wars. I mean that literally. If I could, any job on Star Wars, even if it was designing shit, I would take that job. And there you go. As you can see, we have managed to touch down, and that's kind of fantastic. Now, you'll notice I'm actually leaning, and you might be wondering why I'm leaning. That's actually because of that ship up there. That ship is casting... The gravity from that ship is affecting this station, because I don't think the station is turned on right now. I've been fucking about with this a little bit, to be honest. You know, I've been fucking about in the sense that I disconnected the station from the rock that it's on and tried to fly it off. Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me, but that would have been kind of awesome if it did. But as you can see, you know, this little ship, it's touched down, it's nice. I would turn the engines off, but if I did that, I think it might be able to float off into space. Let's see if I can remember how to turn the bloody engines off. There we go. So everything's off. Can I nudge this? Yes, I can. Just a little bit. But I can actually nudge it. And it will fly off into space if I give it enough of a nudge. So I want to try and avoid that. What I want to show you next, though, is the physics of the game and how crashes work. Now, as you can see, this is already a bit fucked. And by a bit fucked, I mean, good lord, look at the state of it. But alas, I'm going to show you more, because it's fun, and explosions are cool. What I will do is fix this bloody ship first, since it's already sort of wrecked. So let's get that done. So as you can see, I've slapped a bunch more engines onto the back of this. I put some more on the front so it can brake easier and also reverse. And now, I'm just going to go into first person, and I'm going to fly into the ship. Actually, no, the gravity's on, so I don't need to fly. Let's see, where is... I think you pilot it from up here. Yeah, there we go. So you go through all the corridors of the ship, press T on this, and as you can see, we are now piloting. I can reverse it, which is good. Let's just tilt the camera a little bit. Just angle the ship down enough so it will have a nice crash. And we'll just reverse until we get to about 40 meters per second backwards, because then it has to slow down. So, in theory, with all the engines we have on the back of this, we should be able to get up to some good speed. We'll go to 50 meters per second as opposed to 40. Let's start slowing it down. Okay, and full speed ahead. Let's see how much speed we can get up going forward here. We're just going to go straight into the space station. Hopefully bits don't go flying off and hit my pillar of autumn. I would be kind of pissed off if that happened, but I guess that's what happens when you crash something into a bloody space station. But here we go. Nearly 60 meters per second, and... so it didn't look amazing. However, you notice bits and pieces have kind of flown off. You notice the engines on the left there are probably completely gone. If you look carefully, you can see I am warping and breaking bits of the space station. It's also tanking my frame rate, but whatever, it's an alpha. I've also warped and broken a lot of that platform. If I now try to go up, I should, in theory, I should be able to do this. I don't know if I've got anything that will allow me to go backwards. Oh, I do. Something's taking it backwards. It might be oh, it's that one engine there. We have one engine pushing us back. I think it's actually stopped working at this point. It's stuck. Yep, we're stuck. Okay, up we go. Up. Come on, up and through, and we'll go backwards again. And you can see this is kind of stumpy. Even more stumpy than it was. So if I just get this thing back to, let's say, about there. I've now turned everything off. The ship is now drifting. Just another cool feature. You can literally set your ship adrift if it's fucked beyond belief. So let's send this thing backwards. Let's start rolling it a little bit. And let's turn it off. That did not work. Once again, backwards, roll it, twist it, and everything off. There we go. Drifting. Completely out of control. Probably gonna just drift endlessly. Because that's... wait a minute. Nope, we appear to be twisting backwards, actually. I think this might actually just be stationary. Oh no, it is definitely moving. At a very slow pace. Doesn't matter. So that's just another example of another cool feature in this game. The destruction is kind of magnificent. And I'm really curious to see what this ship looks like from the inside, because it looks like we're missing a large chunk of the front of it. Yeah, this was a room once. This was a room. Not so much anymore. Oh, I appear to be stuck. Let's put the jetpack on. Yeah, this was all a room once. That's what I love about it. You know, you could build the most complicated ship, but if you lose control and hit something, that room that you spent 2 hours on, gone in an instant. And you know, just look at the state of this. You know, that's warped brilliantly. That's all warped. That there was a bit of a tower there. It's gone now. And I think another good example of the destruction is what's left of this ship. This was the front of a ship. Then there was kind of a... if you think of these walkways here, there was one of those that connected to the back of the ship. It was literally just a walkway, the middle of the ship. I took that red one, and I flew it through the middle of this ship, and just split it in two. And the other half of this ship is off drifting in space. It just flew off. And there's no way I could have got to it, because there was no gravity on it. So I was just being flown about. Nothing I could have done. It's just a really cool game. Space Engineers is just really... It's a lot of fun. If you like having a creative playground, if you like space, if you like the idea of building the Pillar of Autumn or a Star Destroyer or something like that, pick it up. Play it. You won't regret it. It's not expensive. It's like $20. It's on early access. It's still developing, so you'll get a load of free updates as it develops. It's a win-win situation. You get to be a creative bastard, you get to build cool stuff, and you get to see a game be developed into something really, really awesome. Anyway, folks, I have rambled on for more than long enough. Go check it out. At least look at it. You know, just look at it. You will not be disappointed. I've been the Conflict Nerd. This has been Space Engineers. It's on early access on Steam. It's like $20. Go give it a look. God damn it, just buy it. I'll see you next time.